Hello, this is part of the Ghost series guide for obscurity. Um, I did Ryan, now I'm doing D.Va. We're gonna do the same thing, mindset of how to play a round, typical round. So you open up, you usually DM any initial spam from like a fire strike or bubbles or junk nades, anything like that. And so you're pushing up, defaulting with Ryan. Defaulting means you are with him, you're stacked on him. If the Ryan is like right here where I'm shooting, usually right behind him. Um, yeah, you're stacked with him and you're ready to kill anything. For example, if there's like a Hanzo here and the Ryan says Hanzo, Hanzo, kill the Hanzo, but like you're all the way over here, or even like right here and you don't know where the Hanzo is. It's like you're not in a position to follow up on calls, and with a low damage comp like Goats, that's pretty bad. So stacking, defaulting is important to stack on Ryan and being able to kill anything, especially for D.Va, because part of the part of speeding and killing thing, one of the huge parts is um, uh, booster and then killing them. It does a lot of burst damage, same with like Brig and Zen and stuff like that. So D.Va can really contribute to a lot of damage. Even though Zarya is most of the damage, like Zarya is consistent damage, while D.Va is burst. Same with Brig and Zen and stuff like that. Okay, so you like DM initial spam, you're in default, and so usually if it's a goats v goats matchup, you want to be spamming shields. Wherever the Ryan is, you want to be spamming shield, DMing fire strikes and stuff like that. Um, you want to be with your Ryan, defaulting, just breaking shields, and then you are alert and ready for the Ryan to call calls. If it's like fuck up phase, if there's someone's misposition, if there's like a brig here, there's a brig here, but there's like a Ryan here. Whoop, my game lagged. Okay, if there's a brig here and there's a Ryan here, and it's like the brig is mispositioned, the Ryan's obviously gonna call the brig, and so you're ready to just burst down. Also, try to DM important stuff. Um, like if you're really good, you can look for volleys from Zen. You can look from high energy balls from Zarya. You can fire strike flames. But this is really only the first fight. Usually the fights leading up, you want to save DM for more important things like grab. Um, so yeah, D.Va's job is pretty simple. It's usually you're adding on an important component to Goats, which is the damage and the sustain, especially with DM. Like that fire strike is 100 damage. Hitting 6 people, that's 600 damage. That's a ton of damage. So you're DMing a ton of damage. You're breaking shield. D.Va, even though her gun is pretty spread, the Ryan shield is pretty big, so you actually break shield very quickly. Um, so don't be afraid to just spam and default with the Ryan and move forward. Don't use rockets. You usually want to use rockets for fuck ups, so don't use them. So yeah, if if you fight and you break shield, if 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 you lose for some reason, if like your team fucks up and they get caught out of position, or they break your shield first and they kill your Ryan really easily, or you try to capitalize on a fuck up and it didn't work, you lose. The next fight, you're all here, you try to regroup, yada yada yada. You don't want to be staggered as D.Va. Um, so like if you're here and you get staggered, like if you're baby D.Va and stuff like that, you want to be either trying to like kill somebody to make them kill you because you don't want to stay in baby form and you want to respawn as soon as possible and group up with the team so you can go back to default. So your whole team's here, you go back and then you go into default phase, usually your Ryan shields over here, um, and then you play up ults. Depending on what ults they have, you play a little bit differently. If they're Zarya, um, you want to be eating grab. Waste. Oh, hello. 1 second. This is really scuffed. Um, it'll just take 1 second. It's not that much settings. Um, like I was saying, if they have grab, there's a couple of techniques you can use to have a better success of eating grab. One of them, DM is in a cone. It's not in a straight line, so it flares out. So it's very short range. The farther away it is, the bigger it is. So it's like a cone going out. Like imagine an ice cream cone. The tip of the ice cream is like where your body is, and then it spreads out from there like a cone does outward. So using this logic, you don't want to be, if the Zarya is right there, you don't want to be here, because even if you grab here, the tip of the cone might not hit the grab. It's a little bit too left, and then the Zarya grabs, and then your team gets grabbed. So it's better to stay a little farther back to DM. Predicting when the Zarya DMs is pretty hard to judge. It usually comes with game knowledge and like trial and error, basically, because there's not really clear-cut ways to do it, especially with the really good Zaryas, because they tend to mask their intentions of grab very easily. So you kind of have to predict when it is. I know a lot of Zaryas, they wait for you to grab, and the second you stop, they grab, because you have to wait before you use DM again. So making sure you don't DM recklessly is good. So it's not like a track. You have to where you just release it and hope stuff happens. It's more of like a flip where you do it right when she grabs, not like before. So when you think she grabs, then you DM. You don't do it like 1 or 2 seconds before, because she'll just wait, and then the second you lose DM, she'll grab. Another technique is being perpendicular from her. So if she's over here, you're over here, because the cone has a wider angle. Since her grab is going this way, if you DM here, it has a much higher chance of eating the grab. And as well, it's harder for the Zarya to see you grab. So it leads to her like, oh, the D.Va isn't here, let me grab, and then you DM, and then you eat it. Another technique I see a lot at the highest level is when D.Vas DM, they go back, they think, oh, the Zarya thinks, oh, like, I don't see the little rays, because you look behind, I'm gonna grab. But what happens is that you're still grabbing, but you're looking behind, and then you flick back. So a DM, it's not there, it's there. And then that catches a lot of good Zaryas off guard. So that's another technique you can use for DM. So yeah, so if you lose the first fight and Zarya has grab, those are ways you can not easily, those are good ways to eat grab. If if they're running May goats, you want to eat the May thing. It's pretty easy to eat that because it's out there for a long time, but you want to make sure you're eating that. So it's not, you're not really changing playstyle. You're keeping track of most things. Like your initial fight, you're just keeping track of breaking shield, damaging flame strike, and capitalizing on fuck-ups. But when they have ults that you need to eat, you need to put a lot of intentions on that. The next play style, the next like ult that you play differently with is when your D.Va has bomb. When your Zarya, my god, when your Zarya has bomb. For example, if your Zarya grabs like right here, you want to be flying up and then bombing, because the bomb lands right on top of there, and then everybody gets hit. If it's off to the side, the Ryan can like easily just like shield. If it's here, the Ryan can easily shield, but it's right in the middle, it's kind of hard for the Ryan to shield it. So if it's like the corner of that pole, I would do boom, and then you go up, and then boom. That's how I would do a bomb. Other than that, that's pretty much it for the Ghost v Ghost matchup. So default fuck up phase, if it works out, cool. You take space, you usually follow what your Ryan does, so don't worry about that. If you lose, you have to worry about ults and reacting differently than that. If we're running other comps, for example, Sombra, you want to be spy checking. Since your bullets shoot a lot of space, it's a really good way of hitting Sombras. I do this a lot, especially when playing Bunker. That's for another video. When you see the Sombra, you want to be usually DMing shots, because what Sombras like to do is they usually like to hack somebody and then kill the Zen, because the Zen usually doesn't have support, because the whole team is usually focusing on the Ryan shield, breaking shield, like I said, defaulting. So that's what you want to be doing. Instead of like going around here, like you want to be spy checking once in every while, checking common spots, stuff like that. This is usually when high sensitivities come, like for example Guri, Insane. So you want to be like spy checking, listening for fire strike, spamming, because their Sombra isn't doing anything, but you're doing a little bit, especially by eating the fire strike, and then you're mitigating her value by DMing stuff. So yeah, if they have like a standard 2-2 comp, like spam, for example, usually like Hanzo Junkrat, you want to be DMing instead of shield, because you have more DM. DM will have more value because it doesn't really have a specific HP pool like Ryan, so DM has more value. Like if they have a Bastion comp that's like above Mega over there, you usually want to be defaulting and then speeding, DMing, getting in here, and then once you have DM and speed boost back, you usually want to be DMing if they're here. If they have Sim Bastion and they like usually rotate there or there, you just continue on speeding. This is too short where you don't really need to DM, but if they're like over in this corner, like as you guys peek, you want to be DMing it. And remember, it's a cone, the ice cream cone, so you want to be out, you want to be peeking wide, not sharp. Peeking wide, usually the Bastion, and then following up on the fuck up, because if they stay here, it's a fuck up. So yeah, if you lose the fight, if you lose the first fight, you just go again, and then you do default, then ults, and then fuck ups. If you win, you just follow the Ryan. Ryan's most likely taking space and stuff like that. Oh, if you have to cap it, oh, I'm scuffed. The D.Va is the one that caps. The Ryan just goes like where it was just now and pushes up, and you cap point, because you have mobility and you can easily join the fight. It's not Lucio, because Lucio's speed boost is really important. So you're holding point, you're usually pushing cart alone. So yeah, that's pretty much the guide. If you have any further questions, just DM me. Should be taking notes, like I said. That's it. Bye.